and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Oh, it's going to be a hot one today in Melbourne.
Yes.
We record this in the hottest room in my house.
Yeah.
So, quick one's a good one.
Quick one's a good one. Do you know what's heating up also, Cambo? The fight between Mike Tyson and that guy.
One of the Paul brothers.
It's a Paul.
That will be well and truly over by the time this
Oh,
episode
yeah, that's
releases.
true. I forgot. We're actually...
That will...
We record earlier, but this one exceptionally early.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Yeah.
You guys are so over this already.
But no, now to prove that we are actually recording live, say something currently that happened in the last 2 days.
I got nothing.
Nothing's happened.
I don't think so.
All right, so something tragic happens. As we all know, obviously, it's around the 2nd of December right now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We all know that, I think. I
Yeah.
got that right.
Yeah.
And it's wild that they announced.
Oh,
that
no,
they're
this is
cancelling
how I'll
Christmas.
prove it. Yeah. Oh, people putting up their Christmas decorations. Cambo, it's only just started at the start of the month.
No, that's acceptable, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it.
There you go. To prove that we are recording live, we're fine with people putting their Christmas decorations up.
Yeah, because it is December.
We think.
Anyway, a while ago,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson beat one of the Pauls. I mean, or did he lose?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
We
so
all
I
know
don't
because it's happened. There's no need to speak about it.
It's happened.
Because we all know.
And let's move on, guys. Stop pestering about this fight that
Happened weeks ago.
I don't even know why I brought it up. I have no interest in it at all.
Yeah, it is.
It
is a wild thing for you.
I just know that my brothers and my dad are watching it.
Oh.
They watched it.
Yeah, they're not watching it today.
Yeah. They're watching a recap.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get into it. This first Reddit on Reddit was cross-posted to us by Just Judging Reddit, but it was originally by Hold On to the Happy, and it was in the subreddit Hypothetical Situation. Successfully hide an item for 1 year to earn $100 million, but if it is found, you die instantly.
Reddit hypotheticals, they're always so extreme, aren't they?
But sometimes that's why I like it. We've spoken so many times before about how the money thing is often not like relevant because it's so insane.
Yeah.
But I like that this one is or you die.
Yeah.
Because then it's like...
The outcome is either incredible for you or the worst case scenario.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, really, this could just be you're forced into this situation and you either live or die. You don't even get the benefit of the money.
Yeah.
It's just, if it's found, you die. You were given an offer. You were given a black cube, roughly the size of a tissue box. Oh, that's annoying. Mm-hmm. You are tasked with placing the cube somewhere on land where nobody will come near it for 1 calendar year. If you're successful, you are given... Okay, sorry. I just got distracted by the 1 calendar year thing. I love how people try to get super specific about these hypothetical situations. Like,
we started on March 4th.
Just in case. Yeah, exactly. Like, what a... Anyway, if you are successful, you are given $100 million. If unsuccessful, you die instantly. Conditions are below. If within the calendar year, a person comes within 5 feet of the cube, whether they know it is there or not, you instantly die. I didn't even get this far. That means they don't even have to find it.
No, they just need to come near it. Really, what this question is asking is what's the most remote place on it? In a roundabout way.
Are people searching? Hold on. I better read more of this because honestly, that was a surprise line to me. So I know I'm the one that does the show notes, but I get the gist of them sometimes and I'm like, yeah, I'll put that in. The cube must be placed on the ground. It can't be thrown in a body of water or tied high up in a tree or anything similar. When you place the cube, your feet must be firmly on the ground. Once placed, the cube can't be moved for 1 year. You can't keep the cube on your property or that of family, friends, etc. Okay. Well, I mean, it said that if anybody comes close. So you wouldn't want to put it in your family or friends anyway, because then you would die. If you tell anybody about the cube, you die instantly. Oh, that sucks. You also may not make any pre-arrangements with others about hiding something or telling others not to go near the area the cube is located.
I wouldn't say that anyway, just out of sheer, like, paranoia.
Yeah.
But, like, if I said to you, hey, Nelson, don't go to these coordinates.
Yeah.
All I think you'll do is go, but why?
Yeah. I better check that out just in case. Okay, here's what I've realized. Sometimes I like these because we can talk about, our different strategies and whatnot. I would say this person has eliminated any strategy except for the one that you've just said before, which is what's the most remote place that no one will ever go.
Okay, can I tell you? There's a... So it says, do take the deal. There's a little thing in edit as well.
Yeah.
It says, when I stipulated it must be on the ground, I meant you could not bury it. I suspect that may change people's responses. So...
Which, again, they've just eliminated a, logical thing to try and do.
Bury it 6 feet underground.
Yeah.
But with all of this is my immediate thought.
Okay.
Is pay for a flyover, and this is going to be expensive, but I'm banking on the $100 million coming my way.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
A flyover in a Cessna plane to the most inhabitable remote part of Antarctica, and then just drop it out the window.
Yeah. Or Sahara Desert or something
Sahara
like that.
Desert, yeah.
No one's going in the middle.
Sahara Desert might be better because Antarctica, a lot of that is melting at a rapid rate. And I think I got 1 calendar year in me, don't get me wrong, but...
If it's a tissue box shaped size thing, it might also float. I float to a beach camp.
The question is, what if it becomes buried over time?
I was thinking that. That's not my fault. I didn't bury it.
Yeah.
I dropped it in the Sahara Desert, crazy sandstorm, it got buried. And what am I meant to do?
Oh, look, it must be placed on the ground is the wording, but it can't be buried, which I think is the action of burying it. I think anything left on the ground for a year will be...
Yeah.
Something will cover it.
Okay.
That's just the way that most nature works.
Okay, yeah.
Unless it's in a suburban street, which is a terrible strategy.
Yeah.
If you leave it in a forest, if you leave it in a desert, if you leave it in Antarctica, things will cover it due to just weather. Leaves will fall from the trees, sand will blow, snow will fall.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're not doing the action of burying it. It's just, but it will be buried.
Yeah, okay. Okay, how about this for an idea? This is also going to bank on eventually getting the money paid back. You pay a lot of money for almost like an advertising campaign.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a trick that they do for certain products.
Yeah.
Do you know what I remember for one product they did this for in Australia? And it really got me. Because they were like, "You is coming." And I was like, oh, what's you? What is that? It's got some funky neon colors and stuff.
Yep.
Anyway, after 3 months, turns out tampons.
Yeah, it was tampons.
It's like, oh, come on, guys.
I already pre-ordered it.
I was... I bought 1,000. I don't know. I thought it would be good. Anyway, so what I think you could do is you construct a metal container.
Yeah.
In the middle of the city.
Yeah.
6 meters by 6 meters. Just in case. And in the center, you just put the cube and you just put on the outside in 1 year.
Yeah.
This will be revealed.
I would even say, have a countdown timer.
Yes.
Because I think that stops people trying to break in to be like, well, we know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And you set it for 1 year and 1 day.
Yeah.
It just January 2nd of the year after.
Exactly.
Calendar year.
Yeah. You might need to pay for security 24/7 just in case.
Yeah.
People, the hooligans try to get in.
So they are.
Okay, wait. Sorry.
No, please.
You set one up in every major city in Australia.
Yeah.
But the box is only in one of them.
Yeah. And what's the least populated? Northern Territory, maybe?
Yeah. No, well, yeah, it could be that. I'm also thinking, what's got the lowest crime rate in all Australian cities?
Yeah.
I don't think it's Northern
No,
Territory.
it's probably not Northern Territory.
But it could be maybe Adelaide or something.
Oh, yeah.
They're laid back. They'd be like,
Put it in wine country in Adelaide.
Yeah, exactly.
Although you don't want the drunkards to try.
Yeah. Start shaking
Yeah, I'll get into the boxes.
Yeah. Oh, I also forgot automated turrets inside. People will be shot.
Yeah.
And there's a sign on the outside that says people will be shot by automated turrets if you break in.
Okay. I have two thoughts. Actually, I have one thought for your idea and then an additional loophole I think that they haven't considered.
Oh, okay.
Could you disguise the box as something no one wants to go to? Therefore, people will avoid it.
Oh, okay.
Like, what is a facility that no one wants to visit?
It's do you know what? I was trying to think of like outside the box thinking here. And I think I've seen this done somewhere else in another major city, which was they had a public toilet with a two-way mirror. Mm-hmm. So you would just like poop in the middle of a square or something, and you could see out, but obviously nobody could see in. And so I was thinking something like that, but it's not a two-way mirror.
Okay.
But then I thought, there's some weirdos out there. They're going to be like, yeah, I'll poop in this toilet where everybody can see me and I can see them.
Yeah.
It's a real power move sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because my initial thoughts was places people don't want to go. Public toilets kind of like a bit gross in general. People don't really like them. So I was trying to go along those lines, but maybe that's still not enough.
Yeah, what I would do, I think, I like the idea of having a thing that everyone's waiting for, but I want to play some like I want to take it to a new dimension if we're playing this chess.
Okay.
Which is you set that up. It's the big thing in the middle of the city saying this will be revealed in 1 year, but it's not in there.
Yeah.
You then separately set up a similar sized facility out in like country Victoria that just looks like a power station, like part of like something where like the power grid needs to run through and you've got some generators and whatever in there. It's just an industrial looking thing.
Yeah.
Also, 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah.
Totally locked up, big fences all around it.
Yeah.
And then everyone's distracted by the big cube. But it's actually further out in this little shed.
I mean, the crazy thing here is, Kemba, unless people have been told about this, there's no reason why you need to do the thing in the city and have it blank. Because
It's a bit of fun.
if it... It is a bit of fun.
Yeah.
That's true. But then people might be like, who put this together? They look up your financials and they're like, he's also got this remote place in the middle of nowhere.
Go down as investigative journalist.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I want to explain the other loophole as well.
yeah.
They said it needs to be placed on land and it can't be dropped into a body of water. What they didn't say is we can't create some kind of large raft with land on it
Oh, okay.
and push that out into the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we create a small floating piece of land, 6 feet by 6 feet,
Okay. Yeah.
and then we push it into the Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda Triangle.
one's
Nothing
flying
ever
over
gets through. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I would be worried that within a year, I mean, I know we're pushing into the Bermuda Triangle, which is technically a black hole, but there is the off chance that it just floats out and goes to somewhere where somebody can get it.
Yeah, could we?
You need to like anchor it down.
Yeah. We'd need to anchor it, but to be clear, it would be on land,
On land.
just in the ocean.
Yeah.
Which what's a continent if not land in the ocean?
Yeah.
Anchored, to be fair.
Yeah.
Continents are anchored.
The anchoring is going to be hard for a raft, though, because you don't want it shallow enough.
No,
That,
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, Nelson. It's a big anchor. It's a pretty big
sorry.
anchor.
I was thinking of not a big anchor.
Yeah, that's
and
where
now
you went
that
wrong.
you said a big
That's where you went
anchor-
wrong. Could you put it in amongst surely there's treacherous iceberg laid ocean where the ships are just avoid it because it's easier. Could you put it in amongst those?
Yeah, that's true. You also wouldn't want But I'm also thinking, right, if I'm a big ship going by that area and I see kind of like a raft.
Yeah. So that's where the sign comes in.
Oh, what does the sign say?
Nothing to see here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll definitely know that then. Yeah.
What is it? Oh, no, sorry, nothing to see there. All right.
What if we also put lions on that raft? Think about that.
They need to be able to handle the cold.
Yeah.
And we need a year's worth of food for them that is dispensed. Otherwise, they will eat it all quickly.
Cambo, what's more terrifying?
Yeah.
A raft full of lions.
Yeah.
Or a raft full of dead lions. You're like, shit. Something terrifying killed these lions on a raft in the middle of Antarctica. I'm not stepping on that.
Yeah.
Because that looks terrifying. In fact, the more dead animals, the better.
We've done it.
Yep.
We either have
Solved.
We either have a big cube in the middle of the city to build hype,
Yeah.
or a raft full of dead animals, and there's no in between.
That's it. Sorry, guys. Problem solved. All right, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit was cross-posted to us by Gone Emotionally, but it was originally by Fuck the Market.
Ooh.
What little secret? Oh my God. It's missing the word A.
It is. Yeah.
What's a little secret that you know only because you work in that industry? I think we've sort of had something like this before, but I just wanted to go through the comments again because maybe we need to update ourselves with some industry knowledge.
Is there anything in your industry you can think of?
This is the only one that I was thinking of, which actually you mentioned before, relating to podcasting.
Yeah.
Which is that you said one time you were working or I don't know, viewing the Hamish and Andy podcast and how they do those. And you say, well, what's funny is when the intros are playing, they're just sitting there silently. Yeah. And I like that that's what we do too. And that's that little thing where you're like, from the outside, without thinking about it, you're probably like, this is like edited in or something, you know. But no, they just sit quietly as the intro plays and that's it.
From what I have learnt, because I know their producer, it's because they're from radio.
Yeah.
And radio is a live broadcast where you do just have to kind of sit through jingles and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were on radio in Australia for, 10 years?
Yeah.
That's just naturally now how they're programmed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I think that's the only thing. I've also, previously I've worked in government, and the little secret that I know there is there's a lot of money wasted.
Yeah. Have we
generally on incompetent people? Their wages.
I feel we must have revealed this secret maybe last time we talked about a similar subject. But having both worked in the cinema industry, the little secret that there are always available seats up the back toward the middle that are reserved. Oh, yeah,
that's true. That's a good one.
They are. You can't actually sell them unless there's no other seats left.
Yeah.
They're called house seats.
Yeah.
Because if something goes wrong, someone's got a wet seat or something, you need a seat available to move to. But I'm sure we've all been in a cinema with not ideal seats.
Yeah.
Waited until the film started, looked up, went, they're still free.
Oh, there's some of those.
They're still free, and moved there. In fact, there's even I won't reveal this, but there's a place where it lists where the seats are inside the cinema.
Yeah.
So if you were to know, you could go check what seats they are.
Yeah.
Wait until showtime. If they're not taken, you can assume they're not sold. Go sit there.
You know, the only problem I've had with that is when I've gone to do that, check their house seats, go to the seats, and there's other staff members already sitting there. You're like, that does happen. And beat us to it, did you? Yeah. Anywho, let's go through some other industry secrets. This one was by Deeply Troubled Smurf. I don't work for Wendy's, but they actually have higher standards for their food than anyone else we distribute to. Their beef is actually never frozen, and they'll send them back if they get packed with frozen items. They turn away shipments for things like meat in boxes touching produce in boxes like they should, but no one else does. They send back expired or off-batch produce. Example, their tomatoes are usually picked a couple of days before the store actually receives them, which they should do, but no one else does. I still don't eat fast food. Thanks.
Cool.
But I like to see food quality taken seriously. And then I like this edit because I think it's important. Edit, a lot varies by region because that's how food distribution works. I haven't read the other comments, but I imagine there's a bunch of people going, well, actually, my Wendy's that I worked for didn't. So it's funny that this is kind of a positive one, right? You just instantly expect, oh, what's the secrets? Normally it's like, oh, well, turns out that beef is not cow.
Yeah.
Something like that. But here's my little spin on this one. I don't necessarily think this is good because of food waste. So much food waste. Like, he's like, oh, they send it back if there's like frozen stuff touching. I reckon the like small chance of contamination. And I don't know, it's hard to say, right? Because on one hand, you don't want to make people sick. They absolutely shouldn't. But on the other hand, if you think about how much food they probably waste that's perhaps unnecessary because our guidelines are stricter than the risk of the food actually being, soiled to a degree where it's going to poison somebody, is off. So it's weird. I'm sort of positive and negative about this one where I'm like, we live in this industrial age where we just waste so much goddamn food with like these little things to be like, oh, technically this doesn't meet standards, so I'll throw it out. I will eat stuff that's well after its best before date in my house, much to Ellen's chagrin, I think.
Yeah. No, I've seen you do it. It's wild.
Yeah. I'm like, it's most best before stuff. We've said this before. Due date, important. Best before is like totally, you can eat that shit for like forever, pretty much. Because most stuff has either tons of sugar or preservatives in some way.
If you saw like a packet of potato chips.
Yeah.
That's just oils and like salt and
Yeah. In a million years' time, that'll still be fine to eat, basically. So I don't know. Anyway, but interesting regardless about Wendy's.
There was one I saw that I thought was interesting, which is perpetual motion machine. I assume it was meant to say machine, but it cut off.
Ran out of...
I work in the visual effects for TV and film. Most people assume that it's big explosions and such, which it is. But a lot of it is cosmetic fixes and de-aging of the stars.
Oh,
There's been rumors of this with one Thomas Maypother IV, also known as Tom Cruise, for a while. People have speculated that he is touched up digitally. Obviously, my wife would disagree. He's a perfect human being.
Yeah.
But I find that interesting. There are cases of this. I know I've mentioned this on this show years and years ago, but there's a movie called The Jacket.
Yeah.
Pretty forgettable thriller from the 2000s. But when Keira Knightley was quite young, and she got famous quite young around the time of Pirates of the Caribbean, she was still a teenager.
Yeah, right.
And she actually had pretty bad acne that they had to cover.
Interesting.
And during the shooting of The Jacket, which is a pretty low budget film, she had a really bad acne outbreak. And even if they covered it, you could still kind of see it.
Right, yeah.
So they developed technology to smooth her skin out to remove the acne.
Yeah, right.
That is still used in TV and film. It's called Curacell.
Oh, really? That's so funny. That's
after her, because they had to remove her acne.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I've always thought that's what was holding me back.
Yeah, your acne.
Was my acting at a young age. I mean, I lacked acting ability also, but I really thought it was just the acne that was keeping me from being successful in all those places. Well, probably Curacell wasn't invented at the time that I was doing stuff. It could have been called Nelson Cell. All right. Well, Should we move on?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, okay.
We talked for quite a while about how to hide that box.
Yeah. All right, let's get into Today I Advise.
So now it's time for Today I Learned.
Today I Learned.
And also sometimes advice.
This Today I Learned was by 11 Forever Alone 11. Today I learned of Joe Martin, a captive orangutan actor that starred in over 50 silent era films and for years lived essentially as a free human, wearing clothes, having its own keys to come and go, attending film premieres, and trusted to work with many children. Eventually attacked many people.
Yeah, I would imagine, yeah.
Weird, that, isn't it?
that animal that you forced into something eventually lashed out.
I thought I would read this tidbit as well from When Tardigrades Fly. Tardigrades Fly. Sounds like there should be a movie made about him. Upon entering adolescence, Joe Martin... Joe Martin is just crazy for a... You're cruising for a prison when you name a orangutan Joe Martin, okay? That's not fitting.
Yeah, it's too normal.
Yeah. Upon entering adolescence, Joe Martin began to physically attack humans and other animals, including studio staff, director Al Santel, his trainers and actors, including Dorothy Phillips and Edward Connolly. At least 3 of these cases were apparent defenses of a woman, child, or animal. He staged major zoo escapes at least twice, once releasing the wolves and the elephant on the way out, and separately, while evading recapture, relieving a police officer of his gun.
Wow.
I'm all about Joe Martin.
Yeah, I now wonder if this is partly the inspiration. There's a movie came out a couple years ago called Nope.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a subplot in it about a child star who starred in a thing with a monkey that ends up going crazy on set. And the idea is like, well, you as much as you think you cannot tame nature and animal and things like that.
Yeah.
And now, based on this, I wonder if that is kind of the inspiration for where that whole subplot came from.
Yeah, right.
Is this, because it sounds like what happened. Like they had him working with kids, had him working with whatever, but it was a wild animal that was attacking people.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And orangutan are like strong.
Yeah.
That's a strong monkey. It seems pretty terrifying. I mean, we've seen other Hollywood actors go on do worse, I think. It's been people that have...
I mean, Russell Crowe was
I was just about to say hurled telephones at people and whatnot. But yeah, I think justice for Joe Martin. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
I love that he was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm going to let these wolves out. You deal with the wolves." And also, while you're dealing with the wolves, bam, elephant.
You know what I find funny with like animal actors? Mm-hmm. I watched a movie a little while ago called The Edge. Mm-hmm. About people stranded in the wilderness and they're being hunted by a bear.
Okay.
I looked up on IMDb like sometimes you do when you're watching a movie. And I noticed that the bear
I've never done that while watching a movie. That's only you.
Well,
and movie buffs.
Yeah. You never like, who is that? Where have I seen them before?
No, never ever.
Anyway, I noticed that the bear was played by Bart the Bear.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, interesting. Like this bear has a little profile of all the movies he's been in. And now IMDb has several times when I've logged in. Sometimes it knows your search history.
Yeah.
And it will recommend things. And it keeps recommending other movies with Bart the Bear.
Yeah, that's so funny.
You never guess what he plays on each of them.
Does he play the cocaine bear and whatever?
No, Bart the Bear is dead now.
Ah.
But he often played a wild bear.
Oh, crazy. But did he ever play a circus performing
No,
bear?
he never stretched himself. That's a problem. He's quite a limited range.
Typecast as the wild bear. It's like, guys, I want to do more. I can juggle. Come on. Isn't that? No? Just wild bear? No.
Oh, I'll kill you all. Exactly, Bart. That's what we like about you.
Good. Anywho, let's move on, Cambo, into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought was by Jet Set Jizz. We may never know with full certainty what the world record is for earliest childhood memory any human can ever remember.
I know that this is shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Meant to be those things that you think of when your mind wanders kind of thing.
Yep.
But this seems like such a stoner thought.
Yeah.
Because the only answer to this is, yeah. Yeah.
I thought there was funny, like, two things to this. One, the idea that I don't think this is what it's implying necessarily, but the idea that we can confirm all other world records with full certainty, like, which I think is like not necessarily true. Because you could be like, this dude has spun the most plates for the longest.
Yeah.
He's got the world record.
Yeah,
but we don't know
observed.
that somebody else could have done that, I guess.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
You pay for world records.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that spin plates very well that cannot afford the astronomical amount of money you have to pay because it needs to be adjudicated by an official Guinness. We had one of these at work. We had a world record person come in. It cost like tens of thousands of dollars.
You actually don't need the person though, but there is, because when I was looking up, I wanted us to try and break the world record for the longest uninterrupted podcast, and you can get the officiator out, and that costs $10,000. But you can do it where you can send a video
like
recording.
a live stream or,
But the video recording has to have multiple angles.
Has to have a clock.
Has to have a clock visible the whole time, and you can't obviously break the video at any point.
In fact, this was the world record I watched get broken at my work. It was radio broadcast, not podcast, but all those rules. I remember from when we looked into it. All those were like, there's the clock, there's a camera on the clock, making sure that doesn't break.
Yeah.
The other, if you want an interesting dissection into the Guinness World Record thing, there's a video on YouTube. It's about 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Which is seemingly about a single sound effect from the video game Roblox.
Right.
Which is called the Roblox oof.
Okay.
Just a little thing goes, oof.
Yeah.
It's like a popular meme sound effect. And it starts out with the guy being like, where does this sound effect come from? Why is it so popular? Tracks the origin of the sound effect. Mm-hmm. It eventually morphs into how you can essentially break or pay for all the Guinness World Records you want based on this one guy that did it, because he's also the inventor of that sound effect. Because he's like, oh, here's the sound effect, here's where it came from, here's how it was manufactured, and here's the guy that made it. Let's talk about this guy that made it for a second, because the further he looked into him, the wilder this thing is. And he just claims world records, pays for them so he can prove it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's got all these, like, so specific world records that are also not open. So, like, you can't actually, like, then...
challenge it?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah. But it's just like, this guy's just super rich and vain and wants world records. And Guinness are like, he's going to keep paying us for them. So,
yeah. It's the dumbest thing to think that, like, what is the point of the world record if you are paying for them and stopping people from trying to beat them in that way at all? Like, what are you getting? It's actually, I mean... different scales, but same sort of mentality that I don't understand is when people cheat in multiplayer games, like consistently, particularly in sort of competitive ones where the idea is to like get better and, you know, try and have like this fun game. I'm like, what? Like, why are you cheating? Because when you win, you can't be like, ha, beat them with my skill because you didn't. So, like, what is that? How do you... It's the same thing with this guy. It's like, ha, I got the world right. But, like, no, you didn't. Not really.
There are definitely people where winning isn't the act of, like, yes, I managed to do it.
Yeah.
Winning is just the joy of being like,
paper.
I won.
The winning is the certificate Guinness World Record gives you. Yeah.
Anyway, slight digression, but it's a very, very funny video.
Yeah, right. Interesting. The other thing about this, right, I think is that they're mainly implying is that you have to go off somebody's just account of, yes, I can remember this fact. Because there is a woman who has said that she remembers her birth or something. Like she's got one of those photographic memories or like, I think it's like even more complex than that or whatever. But basically just remembers everything from however long ago. And but then some people say, oh, well, she's just lying about it. And so therefore you can't confirm. But I feel like if like you have a circumstance like that, we could probably just believe it. Because it's not like everybody's disputing that she has this type of memory.
Yeah.
It's that they're saying, oh, well, it can't go back to birth. And it's like, well, just let her have it,
Yeah,
you know?
unless she is somehow gaining monetarily from this lie.
But specifically saying that she's had the memory from birth.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm sure she's been tested a million different ways on her photographic memory.
Yeah.
All
right,
but
then
it's
where were
really
you
just
born?
proving
Hospital.
it. Yeah. Oh, she's got us. She has got us. Yeah. I just feel like let her have it.
Yeah.
It affects no one.
I also love a claim that can't be verified.
Yeah.
The actor Warren Beatty has claimed he slept with over 10,000 women.
Yeah.
Which someone's done the calculations and like based on his age.
Yeah.
If he was sexually active from like 16.
Yeah.
It's still like more than one person a day.
Yeah. I actually can have the biggest dick in the world. Yeah.
But the thing is, that can be verified.
No,
But
no,
one
no.
can verify because no one knows all 10,000 women.
No
he
one has
claimed.
ever seen my penis before. And no one ever will.
Yeah.
So, maybe I should call up Guinness.
You can't print a picture. That's porn. You don't want to be producing pornography.
They'd be like, Nelson, we can't do this. I'll say, I'll pay. They're like, all right. We'll put it in, sure. No worries. We're all about the money. Here's another one quickly. This is by Irony. If you're going to a potluck, you only need to take enough food to feed one person. This sounds really stupid, but I just love the idea that you turn up to a potluck and you've got like a steak and some beans on a plate. You're like, who wants this one? What you've got looks delicious. I'm going to try some of that curry. I'm going to try some of that pizza. But like technically, I followed the brief.
That's
okay,
true.
we only needed one thing, one plate. Anyway, that's all I had to say about that. All right, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God! I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves.
It's my week this week, and as promised, part 2 of my podnapping.
Oh, no, you can't.
No,
you cheated.
I have.
Yeah,
No,
cheating.
I have.
So,
No, I've actually gone out and re-got these. I started again.
Really?
Yeah.
So this isn't the singers talking.
No, it
normally.
is, but different ones. I was going to do
what were
different
you,
ones.
who were you going to do originally?
Bruno Mars, Britney Spears, and that dead guy from Linkin Park.
All right. Well, you've
I've got the biggest dick in the world.
Cambo, I've got the biggest thing in the world. I've got the Guinness World Record certificate to prove it.
Okay, so honestly, I don't know how long this will be. I have got 3 singers.
Yeah.
But I have them speaking.
Yeah.
Which, as we discussed 2 weeks ago now, is weirdly hard because you never really hear them speak. You only really hear them sing.
I was listening back to our podnapping about that. And I was still like, yep, still so hard. I knew the answers. And I was like, God, it's hard to pick these people. Anyways, there's
3. As always, doesn't necessarily mean they're alive if they're featuring here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start with number 1. You'll know all of these artists, by the way.
Okay. You said that last time, and
Who wanted to do this, you or your parents?
Absolutely me. Once I saw Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, I'm like, oh my God. The second I got on the stage, I just opened up and I became this whole other person on the stage, and I wanted to do it every day, all day.
Who do you think that is?
Shot in the Dark, Beyonce.
Correct. That's that. What led you to that?
I think the Jackson 5 thing actually helps. I just felt like that would be her era of like kind of seeing them on stage and then seeing that. And I could kind of pick the voice a little bit. You know?
Okay.
Like wasn't totally off.
Yeah, interesting.
Of what I imagined.
Maybe singers are easier, weirdly.
Oh God, weirdly.
Okay, well done. You got that straight away. This might be a really quick Podnapping. Here is the next artist. Who is this person? This is from a very recent interview.
I actually realized tonight my hair is actually very similar to the album cover that he shot. Different outfits, also strong shoulders. Tonight was like a really special evening, meant to be kind of elegant and a little bit rebellious. Two things I like.
Man, that's tricky.
I did play this for someone, and they said, that sounds like Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, funny.
And it kind of does.
Okay,
And
yeah.
she actually technically has an album, but it's not Scarlett Johansson.
Okay, yeah. Oh God, that was a bit tricky. Maybe I should go by some of the clues. A little bit rebellious, and what was the other thing she said?
Rebellious and wild, I think.
I don't know. Literally, we heard it a second ago. And I can't remember.
It's gone.
Did I tell you my earliest memory is being born? Okay, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Purely on that, although I don't think it sounds like it. I was going to say Billie Eilish, but
Oh, yeah, that's a good guess.
I think she sounds a bit. I reckon I could pick Billie Eilish's voice.
Yeah, I reckon I would recognize her voice too.
But I was kind of going off the.
No, that's a pretty good guess. I will give you a clue. Similar to Scarlett Johansson, this person also acts.
Ooh.
So
Okay,
it's,
someone acts,
think
but
of your
is.
Jennifer Lopez's and the like.
Oh, is it Jennifer Lopez?
not Jennifer.
Okay. I would not. I would never think about J-Lo being an actor as well.
She's been in a lot of movies.
I know, but I just doesn't.
Yeah,
I
this
don't know.
person is far more known for being a singer.
Okay,
But
yeah,
they also act.
they have.
And I can tell you this interview is actually they're talking about they just released an album, but they're also talking about the premiere of their movie that they just attended.
Oh, okay, right.
So they have a movie that's been out very recently.
Oh, very recently.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh God, who's been? Oh, is this like No. Oh no, you said more of a singer. Okay. I don't know why, but I was thinking of Brie Larson. Doesn't she do?
Oh, she did that. Yeah, she also had an album.
Yeah, but no, you said more of a singer.
Far more of a singer.
You know what? Play it again, one more time,
Okay.
just so I can get it back in my head.
And we'll remember that quote.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, I remember.
I actually realized tonight my hair is actually very similar to the album cover that he shot. Different outfits, also strong shoulders. Tonight was like a really special evening, meant to be kind of elegant and a little bit rebellious. Two things I like.
Elegant and rebellious.
Lady Gaga.
It is Lady
Yes,
Gaga. Correct. She's
yes.
actually talking about Harley Quinn in that clip.
Right. Yeah.
Elegant and rebellious.
Yeah. I realized you definitely gave it away with the recent film
Yeah.
because I just clicked. I was like, oh yeah, I think yeah. But I think Lady Gaga's a good one because you definitely don't. I mean, except for the most recent film, don't hear her speak that much. So just the singing.
Here is the last one. Who is this person?
In the early days, we came to the heavy metal thing, and even after about the second album, I started writing different kind of things. I mean, a heavy metal band doesn't have to just stick to heavy, big heavy merchant chords and things all the time. I mean, you can write. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm a songwriter. I look back at myself and think, oh my God, how could I have done that? Wearing black nail varnish and the long hair and wearing the makeup and wearing the kind of clothes. But I mean, everybody grows out of it, I mean, that was when I was about 22 years old. I'm now 37. Still looking wonderful.
I was just going to say, this looks...
He's now 37. Is that what he said?
Yeah. In that clip, he was 37. It's an older clip.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Can I tell you why I picked this one?
Because he sounds so posh, but it's like a heavy metal dude. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like the disparity between
The clip's a little disingenuous in that way. I wouldn't say he's known as a heavy metal icon,
Right.
but people think this person speaks a different way because of someone else's betrayal of them.
Oh, okay. That's not where I was going with this.
So this one surprised a lot of people because I think the impersonation of this person is way more famous now.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's not where I was going to go with that at all. I thought somebody that popped to mind I thought was like Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, yeah.
I felt was like kind
I
of.
don't think he's
on
that posh, though. Is it?
Yeah, he's not. Even when
I bit the head off a fucking bat.
Or I was thinking like member from Kiss or something.
Oh, yeah,
that,
like a Gene Simmons or something.
Yeah.
No, it's none of those. I would say far less metal than that.
far less.
I think the fact that they call themselves metal was
Okay, yeah.
pretty funny.
Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe then, this is what I reckon. It's Freddie, what's his name? Mercury.
It is Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think everyone
He
thinks,
sounds way more posh than he is portrayed.
everyone thinks of the Rami Malek performance where he kind of speaks like this a bit.
Yeah, right.
And I just think it's because he had big fake teeth and he didn't speak properly.
Yeah.
But he had a far more like refined, posh voice than
that is
in
interesting.
the film.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that without your clues. But weirdly, I did way better on the singers than I did.
You really did.
actors. How?
You love singers.
Buddy,
and
love
you
them.
hate actors.
That's what I've always said. That
and the thing about you, Peters.
Yeah. Biggest in the world. All right. Can we good podnapping iceberg? No, it was rubbish podnapping because you can't do two that are basically the same.
You wait till in 2 weeks' time.
Oh my god,
Authors?
that would suck.
So, like, you hear actors speak a lot. You hear singers speak sometimes. You never hear an author speak.
Mimes.
So who's this?
All right, now it's time for the Ask Me Anything.
You got the questions. We have the answers. So ask us anything at all.
This is the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
You mean just like Zimbo?
Yeah.
Zimbo's written in, says, Gents, in response to the topic of donuts, I have some feedback. I love
This was so long ago.
the correspondence that we get as well.
Yeah.
Someone's taken the time to write to us about donuts.
Be like, they're wrong about donuts. I need to talk to them about this.
Yeah, and
that's
it's-
fine. I welcome it.
Yeah.
I welcome it.
This is the correspondence we live for.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme, only good if you get it right off the conveyor belt and super hot. Have to go into the store and then make them not a 7-Eleven where they're being packaged already. Definitely worth getting them this way, but I wouldn't quite even classify them as donuts, but rather a sugary delivery system. Look, this is true, Zimbo, but the thing is Krispy Kreme failed so spectacularly when they launched here. We had shops that you could go into originally that you could get them hot off the conveyor belt, but still no one liked them. So now they just relegate, like, no one wants them to be in 7-Eleven. That's just all that they can really sustain here.
Yeah. That's the best they've got.
Yeah.
I have to admit though, because I was pretty against the idea of donuts. Seems like a weird sentence, but And I admit I don't think I've probably had a super hot one right off the conveyor belt at a Krispy Kreme. So
I had one when they first launched in Sydney.
I
I was up in Sydney with a friend of mine when I was like 13 or something.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal that we got like
Right.
hot Krispy Kreme donuts.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I mean, we've still got them here, like Krispy Kreme. There are very few.
Are there stores?
There's one in the middle of Melbourne, I think. That, like, it's like a small, Krispy Kreme place.
Wow, that surprises me. Next to that Blockbuster Video.
Yeah, that's right. But even then, like, because it's not popular enough, the donuts have still been sitting on the shelves for a little bit, you know? Maybe I need to go like early in the morning.
Yeah, get a freshie.
Give me a freshie, yeah.
Okay, Zimbo continues. There's a lot of thoughts about donuts.
Yeah.
Fancy over-the-top crazy donuts with lots of toppings. This is a big trend here, but they suck. It's like a mediocre cake with too much frosting and a crappy.
Oh, it just
And a
ends.
crappy. Okay.
And the crappy.
Yes.
Yes.
Melbourne went through this trend about 5 years ago. A little cautionary tale called Donut Time.
Yeah. I don't remember this at all, by the way. But yeah.
Donut Time they went semi-viral because they had very like crazy looking donuts.
Yeah.
And then they expanded something like 50 stores within like 2 years.
Yeah.
And the market is not that big, so they collapsed.
Simplicity over complexity. That's what I say.
Personally, I think the best is a smaller bakery that makes fresh donuts with some hot coffee to dunk them in. I personally love old-fashioned donuts. It's a specific type called an old-fashioned and not like just a plain donut. Especially this one place that has these lemon pistachio ones.
Oh, that sounds
does
good. That sounds good.
There's also a farm here that has a festival and they sell fresh apple cider donuts. Again, fresh and hot is key.
Yeah, I could see that one being pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, these flavors you're talking about are like, I'm way more about that than like just insane amounts of sugar and icing and whatever.
I will say the best donuts you're going to find here, for my money, is on the side of a road.
Yeah.
In a caravan, like
Yeah.
a converted trailer caravan.
Yeah.
Jam-filled donuts. You just get a bunch of them in a white paper
Hot
bag.
donuts. Yeah.
They're the best donuts.
Yeah. It's you're totally right. I feel like that weirdly it's specifically that location.
Yeah.
You can't get
I
hot
will-
jam donuts at any establishment
I will-
that's not mobile.
Yeah. Mobile is the key, I think, because I'll give you like I said, side of the road, but I'll also give you like a town fete or something, like a carnival or something. Those donuts will also be good.
And funnily enough, a lot of the time, it's like you'll be like 2 hours out of the city on a highway, and there's one on the side road. You're like, why?
If
Anyway, I'm going to get one, obviously, but like, why here?
The location is weirdly important. If I saw that just a few miles or kilometers from the city, I wouldn't stop. It needs to be a
At least 50 kilometers away from the
It
city.
needs to be a semi-rural highway. And Zimbo finishes by saying, next US trip, I'll take you guys out for some proper donuts and coffee. Although you think the coffee sucks because it's not Melbourne.
It is weird, I was going to say on his earlier comment, to dunk donuts in coffee. That's bizarre to me. No,
But that's I
Zimbo.
assume I don't want to paint a picture of too broadly of a whole culture.
Yeah.
He's talking about like black pour over coffee, not like
You mean like a long black as opposed to a cappuccino?
Yeah, but even like a lot of the coffee they have is like that pot coffee.
Yeah, that's basically a long black.
But I would say long black is probably a bit more.
No, I reckon that's like pretty much the same thing. I mean, I know that they have like drip coffee. It's
I
like
thought it was more diffused with water. Like there's more water to coffee ratio in those, but maybe I'm wrong. So long black to me is quite strong.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought the process to get them is kind of different.
Yeah. I'm saying there's no crema, Nelson.
Yes.
There's no crema on the coffee.
Yes. True.
Yeah. Sorry,
Anyway.
sorry, Zimbo. We live in Melbourne.
Here's the thing, Zimbo, and others that aren't in Melbourne. Your coffee's rubbish.
Did I tell you I saw the absolute, I would say a very peak Melbourne thing the other day?
Yeah.
This guy at work, he's like, do you want to go get a coffee? And I was like, yeah, why not? And then as we're walking down the road, I was like, where's the cafe? He's like, oh, you see that old church over there? That's a cafe.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. That's the most Melbourne thing I've ever heard.
Do you know what? It's funny. Just earlier today, in the car on the way over here, because we were recording sort of in the morning, so I wanted a coffee. And I went into...
Best thing in the world to get a coffee, Nelson.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. I ended up going to a Hungry Jack's. Now, I've had McDonald's coffee before. That's good. Yeah. Hungry Jack's, a.k.a. Burger King. I was like, I don't know about this, and I don't know. Went through the drive-thru, ordered.
Yep.
Tastes delicious. I was like, Melbourne coffee, buddy. It doesn't matter where you get it from. It's so good.
I remember you shouted, Zimbo would never know.
That idiot.
But yeah, we love coffee and donuts.
Yes. Anyway, I'm looking forward to our next US trip.
Yeah.
Where I think we should be like the listener correspondent tour.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We go to the different
Zimbo has to come to New York and show us around.
Yeah. Don't care where you live. Zimbo. I like how he's the only one we've held to maintain.
Everyone else are like, you can do whatever you want.
Whatever.
Change, take it.
Zimbo, sorry, mate. You're the New York correspondent for your whole life. Anywho, I reckon let's wrap it up there.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Zimbo, for writing in. If you would like to write into us, you can do it readitpodcast,
Yep.
READIT podcast @gmail.com.
Yep.
You can also reach us at our subreddit or the Discord.
Yep.
Link is in the show notes.
If you wanted to write in, perhaps tell us if we came to your American state, what you'd show us.
Oh.
Zimbo's offered coffee and donuts. What? Yeah, Florida.
What
do
a
you got?
bar, I'm going to be honest. I want to come back to Australia and be like, what did you do there?
Yeah.
Coffee and donuts. That's it. Then we came back home.
Yeah.
That was
If
what
we're
we
gonna
went to New York for.
If we're going to travel there with the state of how your country is right now, you need to make it worth our while.
Maybe we should go there quickly. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening, and we will read you later.